Hello.
What do you guys remember?
The Silent Father, black and white.
Yes. The mime.
You guys remember seeing a picture of the Silent Father. Do you guys remember what happened with Gerald?
Yeah,
He's still
the-
wandering in the house. No? Oh no, he popped out of the pit. The ball pit.
Cool. So, for each of you, I had added an extra ability. Because after last session, you guys all, or at least should have it, one of you already had it written down and written down essentially the way I wanted. So I left it there, except I'm just now adding. I didn't add the description to yours. Anyway, you should all find in special abilities, you should find Glimpse of True Sight.
Nice.
So, Glimpse of True Sight is the technique that you guys all learned from the Mysterious Fellow. And you can actually, yes, that's part of the reason why I put it into special abilities. You'll notice it uses an action. Initially, yes, you didn't quite understand what it was, what it did, why. And so you guys had to figure out that reciting what you heard in your mind and glancing at something would let you see something. And do you guys remember what you actually end up seeing? Or what you're seeing represents? I believe one of you should have gotten that because I think it might be you, Alex, who has the book. Yeah, so I think it's from the book that you figured out what the Glimpse of True Sight is. And just to go over it to make sure that everyone actually knows and understands this, the glimpse lets you identify whether or not something has an aspect. And you identify whether or not something has an aspect through those visions. So those visions tend to have a particular theme to them, and that's what's going to help you figure out whether or not something has a particular aspect. Did I go over aspects with you guys?
You sure you did? It's like the gods.
Okay, yeah. So aspects are essentially, it's going to be the relationship, the influence of what God is behind it. And this can be. There's going to be multiple different aspects, and not everything is going to be just solely with one aspect. So the Honk Mother would be both a god and the aspect of the Honk Mother. When you become powerful enough to become a god, you start having your influence spread out, and this influence is what is called a aspect. And so just about anything supernatural that you look at will give you, you'll be able to identify some form of aspect from it. If you've already seen it before, I will probably end up just telling you straight up, okay, this is an aspect of the Hunk Mother, instead of just flashing you guys the same vision over and over and over again. But to give you an idea, this one right here would be the aspect of the Hunk Mother. Exactly. Which begs the question, because that means that if you had a vision like that, that means there's an aspect related to it.
Uh-huh.
So
I'm guessing that's the god of hair clogged in the sink.
Absolutely. This is the god of existential dread as you try to remove hair clogged from yourself and cannot. All right, excellent. So where we left off, you guys had discovered a nifty little room A room that is fully black and white, one where sound on the inside seems to be just very slightly muffled. Even though it's a small room and really everything should be quite loud, but it isn't. There was a dead spider. There's no obvious sound dampening either. You have, at the floor, you have what appears to be two separate crystals, one of white and one of black. You have a dead spider, very similar to the other ones, which seems to have managed, has scratches of white paint. And there is what appears to be an intricate circle that has been broken, presumably by said spider. Everything in the room is in hues of black and white except for yourselves and the spider itself. And there is... Nope, the spider's completely dead as far as you can tell. It's on its back. It's possible I might have said that.
I remember because I asked if it seemed like it was dead for a long time. You said no.
It does not look like it was dead for a long time, but it does look dead.
If I examine the circle, do I recognize anything about it? Does it seem familiar in any way?
It looks like an occult circle.
Okay.
It does not seem familiar.
Okay.
The other stuff in the room is you have a painting that you guys all watched that seemed to be a very strange looking painting. One of the Silent Father. You had picked up not a sheet, but a manuscript. So a series of multiple, really thick amount of pages. It was a dissertation, I believe is what I had called it. A dissertation on the Silent Father. So, the rest of what you guys might remember is that you had gone through the entirety of the place. There's a ball pit. There was a room that was attempted to be burnt down. There's no knowledge on whether or not that was successful or not. Only one person, I think, is aware of what's inside of that room.
Yeah, well, there were spiders in it.
Yeah.
Okay, he mentioned. Okay. Indeed.
Exactly.
So you said with the glimpse of true sight, I'm able to identify the aspect of an object creature.
That's correct. Yes.
If I use that on the tiny critter I have in my vial, what does it give me?
The tiny critter?
Yeah, I had like a baby spider.
A tiny little. It was a tiny spider, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a colorful one. If I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get the aspect of the Honk Mother.
Okay.
So you would see that.
So the spiders are hers.
You have a reasonable idea that would be the case. At least that's what, so far, the book that you've been reading seems to indicate. You're also quite aware that there's still a lot of good stuff in the book.
If you want to look into it. Quick question. What's that here that's black?
It appears to be what seems to be a sort of chest.
Oh, god damn it. No, the
Look at
reason
the
why I'm
chain.
saying this is because last time I saw a chest, a fucking Gerald came out of it.
Oh,
in the ball pit. Can I open the box?
Yes, you can. So you open the box. And you happen to find a bunch of blank papers, a label marker, a couple of markers, which are all either white or black, some crayons. And it just seems to be a whole bunch of an assortment of stuff, but everything is in, obviously, black and white. A lot of them seem to be writing implements and blank sheets of paper.
I want to look if there's like a false bottom.
There doesn't appear to be a false bottom.
Can I lift the chest?
Yep.
So I want to put it in upside down.
Okay. You turn it upside down, unceremoniously dropping everything that is inside.
And I want to keep it like open up.
Okay, yeah. As you do so, you notice that one of the things that fell out was a can of paint, white paint.
Is it the same thing that? Does it look the same thing as the splashes comes from the spider?
It does appear to be the same kind of white paint.
You said the circle was like broken.
Yep. The circle seems to have. There's a sizable chunk of the circle that has been broken off. It was scratched out. You find the panel and you manage to close it just fine. Yes, that's correct. You also notice that there appears to be a latch, which would allow you to, say, lock it from the inside. Yeah, okay, you do so.
I would like to try to complete the circle. Is it possible?
yes.
Do you just want to dip your fingers in? Like, what do you want to use to, as like a paintbrush?
Is there any paintbrush around?
You don't quite see anything of the sort, but you do see a lot of things that seem to be like improvisable. It won't make like a perfect paintbrush, but
Well, that's exactly what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking of spider legs first. I was thinking of the Kiki's persona.
My what?
Your guy does he have like any like spikes or anything?
Any pikes?
Spikes.
Spikes. Yeah, he does. Jutting out near his wrists.
Do they seem like pen length or something?
They're not removable, if that's what you're asking.
Everything's removable with him.
Jesus Christ, he has
No,
claws.
I'll take like the beginning of the leg of the spider.
okay. Do you snap it off?
Yeah.
Okay. You give a little bit of a force, and you manage to break off a piece of the leg.
And I'll use it to start painting down the circle.
So as you dip the leg in the white paint, everything goes as expected, and you start to draw the remainder of the circle, the portion that got closed out. And the moment that you complete the circle, all three of you get a very strange feeling. You notice that everything really seems muted, and now color seems to fade. You're not quite sure what happens, but this circle seems to be emanating some sort of something in the air. Everything looks like it's muted, but you're not quite sure if color is fading from you or not.
I'd like to check my 3D glasses. Are the colors fading?
Yep. It looks like everything is, like, from your sight, everything seems to be fading.
So the Hunk Mother spreads color, and this spreads black and white?
None of you hear anything. All you see is Alan. Speak. You see him trying to speak, but there are no words. It's like you're in a completely silent room.
Okay.
I'm gonna start gesturing panically.
I turn around, take a couple of paper and the markers, and I write down, like where you're trying to speak.
I nod my head frantically. And I try to mimic the sign like that it's spreading or something. And I'm pointing at the circle. I'm like doing gestures with my hand. Whether or not you understand, I don't know, but okay, I'm gonna grab the paper and the pen from your hands.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna write down spreading circle.
So I take the paint with the white on it, and I kind of like make like fully paint the circle, like just to fuck it up.
You fully paint the circle?
Yeah.
Okay. So you manage to cover the circle completely. And in doing so, everything returns to normal. Circle has been ruined, and well, you notice that everything seems to fade back into color, except for the room.
You guys hear me now?
Yes, they can.
I was saying it was spreading. The honk mother is spreading colors, and this is spreading black and white. But not anymore.
It was a simple circle, so you get the impression that you might be able to recreate it. You have a very good idea that the circle that you managed to draw, it took a while, but the circle that you managed to draw seems to be a very accurate representation of what you saw.
Oh, good idea, good idea. Maybe we can use it if the honk mother spreads too much. I have no idea.
There's a good risk of it.
It's possible. Do no, never mind. I was just saying if I do a whatchamacallit, glimpse of true sight on the portrait.
Okay.
Do I
Yeah.
get a glimpse of the sorry,
This is what you
the
see.
silent father? Oh Jesus.
Yes.
Huh.
Almost all of the pictures are going to be like the majority of everything I'm using is AI created. There's very few that's not going to
A
be.
vision without sound or color. Interesting. I'd like to see the crystals. Are they whole? Is there like chunks on the floor?
They
Or is
appear
it just
to
like
be growing out of the floor.
growing out of the floor? Okay.
Nope. Not just dropped. They appear to be growing out of the floor. Or at
And does it
least
seem like
growing.
organically grown, like a crystal would?
No, but
Which
they
is
do
not
seem
really organic.
just barely slightly a hair length bigger than they were before.
Huh. Those things grew in the time that the circle was completed. I think so. They look bigger. He look a little bit bigger.
And are you doing the vision? Sorry, are you doing the glimpse of true sight, or are you just squinting at them? They don't appear to be. It is something that you've read, though, so you are aware of it. Cool. Just making sure. Cool. As you squint at them, they don't seem to be growing anymore, or at least they don't seem to have reacted.
Maybe I imagined it, but no, I'm pretty sure they were smaller before.
So
Okay. Wait. So, anything else in the diary relating to this room?
I imagine you take a look at the diary.
Yeah, if possible, or if
Um,
Eric was it? Eric. I'm kidding.
yeah, who has the diary? Okay. Would you mind adding it to your equipment? Is it? Oh, right. Yes, Meredith's diary. Yes. Cool. You managed to. Yes. Do you hand it over to him, or do you look through it?
I'll do the same thing on the other shoulder. I have the manuscript, and while he's reading, I'd like to compare the writing to see if it's the same. What?
Right. What is? The
Honk,
what?
honk.
Yeah. No. That's not AI generated. No, the one that I put was. That's because that happens to be from a very niche community of Space Station 13. But we'll get into that later. Cool. So what ends up happening is that you each, Manuelo, do you start from the beginning again, or do you go from where he left off?
I'll go from the beginning first. Whichever roll.
Okay. And Kiki, you're going from the beginning of the manuscript?
Yes.
Okay. So each of them are talking about different things. Manuela, you start seeing and learning basically everything that that Eric had, which was about aspects. Knowing about the different aspects can help in figuring out what influence is related. You also notice maybe something that Eric might have missed, in that aspects can be related to a particular space or an atmosphere. And so that happens to key into your mind when you happen to have closed the circle. You're not quite sure if that actually is the case, but you have an idea that if you continue reading through that you might find out more. Kiki, you end up finding something completely different.
Okay.
The writing does mention aspects here and there, but the writing is entirely on a subject of rites and rituals. And a particular ritual called the Rite of Silent Introduction.
Okay.
You haven't quite figured out what it is, but it seems to be a series of instructions pertaining to some sort of ritual. But you're not quite sure what all these things relating to aspects and ambiances and circles is quite. You have a rough idea, but you're not quite sure how they all tie in together.
Does it mention the Silent Father at all?
Here and there it refers to a certain he, but it doesn't quite speak directly of a Silent Father.
Okay. And well, before I continue, I think Manuela wanted to say something.
I know, but I was continuing on reading.
Okay, okay.
Did the both of you continue reading?
Before continuing reading, I just want to compare quickly the writing to see if it's the same writing in
The same
both
handwriting?
in the same handwriting. Thank you.
It
In the
does
manuscript and in the
be-
journal,
It does not seem
peeking
to be
over
the
his
same
shoulder.
handwriting.
Okay, it's different. Okay, so
Yeah,
was it
this is
written
not.
by Meredith Lewin?
It was
Okay.
not written by Meredith Moon. No.
Okay, thank you.
So as the two of you continue reading, it takes a little bit, but you end up figuring out some more stuff. Shima, on your side, you learn about ambiences, which appear to be the energy related to the influence of a particular god or something that happens to leak out in space and in the atmosphere. They tend to have effects, and they tend to mostly be related to feelings, but it does not accurately describe what you had ended up seeing, because ambiences don't seem to have a pure effect on the world. They'll have minute changes, but nothing so obvious as
So drastic.
completely muting, so drastic, yes. So you get the idea that it might be related, but it's not quite the same. Kiki,
Yes.
you end up noticing that rituals, as far as you can figure out, the rituals are made up of components. These components tend to be ingredients, artifacts. Sometimes they refer to ambiences, which you're not quite sure about yet, unless you guys have been telling each other the entire time you were reading.
I would share with Manuelo. I don't know about him.
And
I would
rituals.
have been speaking in Spanish unless you would have heard.
I don't speak Spanish.
Cool. So, so the what you end up noticing though is that the majority of rituals, as far as that's being written and down in this manuscript, is talking about the different components, and that most rituals will have a cost, and that this cost will generally be. There's very few rituals that don't have a cost, so to speak, and that one of the components will be lost.
Okay, I would be somewhat familiar with rituals, given my background, I assume.
You
It
have an idea.
completely
Yes,
foreign to me.
they're not entirely completely foreign to you, but you do you know that they take place, but the inner workings of how to do a ritual, you've gone through the motions, but you haven't quite ever known these specifics
Right.
on what goes down.
I would just have copied what other people have done.
So you would have been familiar with, say, like, following through the motions, and you would know that for a particular ritual, the method and everything has to be, I don't want to say picture perfect, but it has to be like the details have to be pretty precise.
Mm-hmm.
You also know that rituals are something that takes time. It's not something that you would say be able to do with a madman on your heels.
Right.
It's something that would take a decent amount of time to perform, but once you've performed it, a significant change would happen. You yourself would be aware, though, that rituals are used for two things: either casting spells or summoning creatures.
Mm-hmm.
And from what you're reading, you've started to get to the part of the rite of the silent introduction.
Ooh, okay.
Shima, as you continued to read in, you started noticing that ambiences seem to be aspects, like I had said, relating to space atmosphere, not necessarily like in a gas form or anything like that, but they fill in a space, the same space that everyone occupies. But it's the energy of a particular god, and that these would be released after, say, burning ingredients, or sometimes related to the death of a being, or even just the presence of a being.
Okay.
Give me a sec. And you also had found something a little something about circles, which seems to be way smaller of a section than all the rest. All you see about circles is that they seem to be a focus. They usually involve some source of power, and they're usually used to power a ritual or a spell.
Does that circle, it's like the one that was on the floor?
With regards to circles, it's just in the actual diary, you don't see any drawings of circles. It's just relating to them. No, you would get the impression from what Shima had read, is that circle was either powering a spell or would be used in summoning.
That or just a spell to mute? I don't know.
That's what I figure, yeah. What
Are
it's
we
starting
done?
to sound like.
You have some good guesses,
Is Alan done
but
reading?
there's something missing. Nope. In relating to what you're saying, everything makes sense, except for the dead spider.
No, I don't think I'm done reading, by the way.
Nope, you're not done reading.
I'm just answering
And-
Shima. Oh, definitely. Maybe even a priestess or a high priestess, from what I could gather. Yeah, I think we still don't know that, right? We haven't found anything to point whether or not they're against one another or if they're maybe they're a couple. Right. Hmm.
I got a question.
Yep,
The panel there, there's a table that's broken, right?
correct.
And we found the spider inside after that it scratched the circle, but it got killed by something.
You get the impression that yes, the spider is dead. You're not quite sure what from though. There doesn't appear to be, aside from you having torn off a leg, there doesn't seem to be any sort of obvious injury to the spider. I mean, you can
Yeah,
if
is
you
there
want to
really
if you want
chance?
to try and figure out if it was poisoned or something, you can. So if you have anything related to that, otherwise, give me an intelligence check. Undefined difficulty. Intellect, I should say. I should use intellect instead of. I'm going to be saying strength, dex, and intelligence. A natural
Nice.
19. As far as you can tell, you don't have an idea that a spider like this would ingest, or willingly, or even unwillingly ingest some sort of poison. There's no traces of anything inside that would cause such a strange thing. You do wonder whether or not it might be related to the aspect of the spider and the aspect of the room.
Oh yeah, sorry.
You're gonna
True sight.
you're gonna
True
glimpse of you're gonna glimpse of true sight the spider. You get a vision of the Honk Mother.
Interesting.
The vision is muted.
Which might have.
My
Yes.
question would be, because she got killed by a hammer from the wall, meaning, and her head exploded. So the way I see it, Meredith got killed by the Hug Mother. Why? If Meredith was, as Alan would say, her high priestess.
It could have been an accident. I feel we're making a lot of assumptions here.
So what is it? Do we try to bring Gerald here?
And this is weird even for me. I mean, what do we think it would happen? Would it kill him? We need to remake the circle.
Don't we want to try and get the Hog Mother on our side? Never.
I mean, to be honest, I could take it or leave it, but the Hunk Mother, she's interesting and all, but yeah, I'm not a fan of being mute. That's not great. Not very practical.
Oh my goodness. No, it's just that I'm not a fan of being mute. I can assure you that following any of the gods would not require you to be mute or any weird thing like that. Yes.
Thank you. Also, one more thing I'm thinking, if this circle was spreading the Silent Father, maybe there's a circle in the house that's spreading the Hunk Mother. Perhaps. Was there a circle there?
I don't know. I didn't take a time to look at that. All I saw was the multiple webs and giant spider. And only having this, and I show my knife, is not gonna save us.
That would be pretty safe.
And what about the hallway there? Why is all the wood
That's the influence spreading, I assume.
and the room of Meredith?
The room
gotta
of
find out.
Meredith, from your guys, just to make something clear, the room inside with Meredith, with everything that's multicolor, all of the multicolor stuff was multicolor beforehand. You can tell that it wasn't through some sort of weird twisted corruption like the floorboards.
One more thing, I'd like to inspect the room to see if there's anywhere that I could fit the silver key in this room. Anywhere on the wall?
Nope, you don't quite find
anything.
anything.
Okay. Yeah, I'll reuse this one, and I take out the inflatable one, the colorful one. But this
There's
one, I
a
still have no
large one.
idea.
A large
Okay.
one and a small one. Didn't you already use the silver key on a chest?
No, I used a large plastic key. I think.
No, you used the silver key on the chest.
Oh, I used the silver key. I didn't use the
It's the
large
large
key.
plastic key that you haven't used yet.
Sorry, my bad. I meant this one I haven't used. Yes.
Quick question: did we look under the rug?
You did not?
Oh. Good thinking.
There's
Underneath
nothing.
The rug.
There is
I'll
nothing
look.
underneath the rug. It's
Pull
just
up the rug,
regular
just throw it on
floorboards. You
Just what?
As I lift up the rug and see there's nothing, I'm just throwing it on Alan.
I'm gonna try to catch it.
And
Is it a nice rug?
I'm gonna
Yes.
ask Eric. Do you think you can paint the circle back of this?
Yep. Yes, you can. Sure. Are you going to use the leg to as a paintbrush?
Yeah, it's on the floor next to the spilled paint.
So you try to scrape off the paint. You notice it's not quite working, and then you end up giving up and doing it right next, since there's enough space.
Yeah, since we removed the rug. I'm gonna shove the rug behind the couch.
Do you complete the circle?
Yeah, do it. But just
He
as he's asking this, I'm like, yeah, do it, and I open the trap.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow.
Nothing happens. You get the impression that something's missing. It's almost as if someone might have stumbled across painting a circle like this and suddenly made everybody mute. A simple circle like this would have been something of a problem everywhere else in the world. Something is missing. They can hear you
Yes,
just fine.
I can hear you.
If only you knew more about circles and rites. The two of you outside notice that there seems to be nothing wrong with the floorboards underneath.
Huh. So I guess
I'm going to sit on the chests here, and I'm gonna reading the.
You're going to continue reading?
Yeah.
You end up finding two passages that seem to be, as you quickly pass through, you seem to notice two passages. One relating to supernatural beings, and another that is relating to, give me a second, to power sources.
So mythic beings.
Sorry,
And-
supernatural beings. And the other passage is related to power sources.
And what does it involve about? Anything else?
That depends. Which one are you going to go for first?
Oh, I'm gonna go with supernatural beings.
It's Meredith in this particular section is relating the absolute importance of recognizing that a lot of supernatural, of anything that is supernatural, tends to be way stronger than a regular human. That while there are sometimes conventional weapons can work against a lot of different beings, a lot of the times you happen to need or require things either that have been consecrated or fortified with something extra, a sort of using the supernatural to fight the supernatural. While there are mentions of some of the common, I want to say, everyday weapons and materials, there tend to be far and few behind. Sorry, a little bit far and few between, except for iron and silver, which tend to have particular effects. There is one mention of lead, but lead doesn't tend to be terribly effective. It tends to be used for other stuff. And that most of the time, the best way to combat a lot of supernatural threats is through the use of spells, either protective or harmful, to either banish or to prevent the supernatural from getting into a particular spot. And so that's what it relates to, and that a lot of the dealings with the supernatural, the uses of circles, are used to bind those beings to your will, to prevent them from harming you. In the section, particular to that section, you notice two entries. One is related to Cluwnes. Cluwnes. I'll write it in the... Yeah, I'm not seeing the complete bottom either. And the second one, I'll just... the second one is floor clowns.
Those are two different beings.
Two separate entries, yes. Yeah.
Okay. At that point, I'm gonna be like speaking English for everyone to understand what looking into about supernatural beings, and I'm gonna read about those two entries.
Okay, you're going to read about those two entries right away? Okay. So for Cluwnes, you seem to recognize some details. A Cluwne appears to be someone who's been cursed. Cursed with the aspect of the Honk Mother, usually through a mask of sorts that binds to the flesh of the victim, turns their hair green, and dooms them to a tortured existence where the only release is death. Cluwnes appear to be hostile almost to everybody. And you notice in the entry that Cluwnes, as a lot of basically every single other supernatural entity that has breached into our reality, that Cluwnes have the aspect of the Honk Mother and the aspect of wounds.
Oh.
The second entry is floor clowns. The entry reads as follows. It's in the handwriting of Meredith Moon. Floor clowns do not exist. That is the first and foremost thing you have to know. They do not exist. But if ever you were to encounter one, nowhere is safe. The aspect of the aspect of wounds allows them to pass underneath floorboards, underneath even regular ground, without disturbing, in ways, in sort of like a supernatural space in between. They can be behind walls without being in the next room. Sort of an interdimensional space in between. Cluwnes also have this aspect. The ability to pop out the aspect of wounds. But yes, but it's not quite as powerful. The aspect of wounds allows them to breach into our world and also allows them to go through and pop out of seemingly tight spaces where there wasn't anything before. And yet suddenly they can pop out as if it was an open portal. They can... Cluwnes' influence is enough for it to come out of small spaces like a chest.
Yeah,
As
that's what
far
I'm
as you
getting
can
at
tell,
too.
as far as you can tell, no. A floor clown from Meredith's description appears to be like a Cluwne, but not tortured. It is a being of misery, but one that likes to inflict misery on others. It is a being of very large dimensions. She describes it as a hulking Goliath of a clown. A floor clown would be gigantic,
Like 7
but
feet tall?
seemingly able to be... No, like...
More than 7 feet tall? Okay.
Like,
Yeah, that's fair.
something like that. And seemingly able to get underneath the smallest cracks. Floor clowns are...
Yeah,
Floor clowns
yeah.
don't exist. But they are
Biggest
the
28
the
tiles.
enforcers of the Honk Mother.
Oh, okay.
Why is my chat bugged? There we go, that's better. I think I managed to
I
fix it.
think Roll20 is just having a day.
Biggest 28 tiles. No. I'd say probably 2x2.
You said they're the what of the Hung Mother?
They're generally enforcers of the Honk Mother. That seems to be what's written in. There's some other stuff, but that seems to be blotted out. There's, I don't know, it's just rubbed out. Not quite redacted. There's still the passage relating to power sources. And before we get into that, though, Kiki, what are you doing in the meantime?
Oh,
Are you
I'm
reading
going
your
to try to
transcript
finish
as well?
reading my manuscript, yeah.
There's 2 passages.
Okay.
One is related to a silent one,
Okay.
and the other is related to the rite of the silent introduction.
I'm going to read what a silent one is.
A silent one seems to be a supernatural being with the influence of the Silent Father. As far as you can tell, has the aspects of the Silent Father and of wounds.
Okay. Also, I'm reading that out loud, by
Yeah.
the way.
Okay. As far as you guys can tell, you're not quite sure what the aspect of wounds is, aside that it has something to do with breaching and portals and openings. But that's about as much as you guys can gather from both.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And
Yeah. Or it could be both sense. Like they're aggressive and
now you guys
they
are
can
thinking
travel.
with esoteric portals.
Yeah.
So it seems to be a supernatural being of the Silent Father. Not much is written, other than they seem to have unparalleled. They have the ability to manipulate reality around them,
Okay.
but it doesn't quite go into how.
Does it say what they look like?
They appear to be very pale.
Okay.
and that they are also mute,
Like a mime.
like a mime. I assume you also read the part of the silent introduction.
Yes, because I assume that's what's going to help us complete the circle. Recomplete the circle.
The rite of the silent introduction is one that requires a circle of the Silent Father,
Uh-huh.
which is something that, and this is the moment that you see in the manuscript, the exact circle that you saw.
Okay, good.
And so you can add that if you want to add that somewhere, so you guys know that you know how to draw this circle. It takes the circle of the Silent Father, and the rite of the silent introduction is a rite of summoning. You also learn that rituals have different aspects, and some rituals are only able to do certain things. This one seems to be pretty flexible in its summoning. It seems to be able to both do spells and summons, but seems to have a better effect on actually bringing in something.
Okay.
You notice that the rite of the Silent Father has 4 components. It has a component of memory.
Okay.
It has a component of ingredient. A component of ambience. And a component of life.
Sacrifice.
As you go through, with the rite of the Silent Father, you notice that there's a strange marking right next to memory.
Okay.
You don't quite know what the marking means, but you have the feeling that it's important. And you notice that as you start reading through what seems to be a very short play. A play that requires actors. And right next to actors is the component of life. One person has to reenact the introducer. It seems to be an act in which of miming, letting somebody in after doing the proper preparations. And in the ingredients seems to be the ingredient of the Chalk of the Silent. You have no idea what the Chalk of the Silent is. And that the ambience must be that of the Silent Father. And the aspect of memory, in what relates to it, is that during the entire rite, you have to concentrate on a specific memory of yours, one relating to, as much as possible, some aspect of the supernatural, or something at least that has you have a certain fondness over, a part of your past.
That's supernatural.
Yes. One that elicits enough emotion in you.
Okay.
Can
It's
I?
shocking. Yeah, go ahead.
You now
Can I-
know how to perform the rite of the silent introduction.
Da, 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 da.
Can I make a? I believe that Meredith and Gerald were actually working with the Sand Father, and they're actually trying to how can I say, wage war against the Hung Mother or something? Because from what I remember in last session was that she managed to enslave the spiders, I think.
You managed to breed the spiders.
Breed the spiders. So she was able to like have them and use their venom for something.
Hmm.
So, and right now, by reading a little bit through about the Cluwnes, seems like to be a cursed human by the Hunk Mother, by a mask or something. So, my guess would be the Hunk Mother is trying to get her revenge on Meredith. That's why her head exploded because of the hammer, and why Gerald is being possessed right now.
You
He's
think she
being-
betrayed? You think she betrayed the Hunk Mother?
She betrayed, or she never was with her. So it's just like trying to like use her for something.
I mean, she did a lot of Hunk Mother related things in her lifetime with that whole show and everything. Oh, I have no idea.
Hmm. Well, obviously, someone here got backstabbed, whether it's been for a while or not. But the Hog Mother is getting her revenge right now.
You guys are sure it wasn't an accident with the hammer? Do I remember if it was exactly the same hammer?
It was not.
The hammer that popped her head, did it hit any of us at any point?
Nope. The hammer that popped her head is currently in Gerald's hands.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah, fuse with his hand.
Yes. There were a bunch, but they were legitimate toy hammers.
Could have been trafficked with?
Oh god, can you guys imagine if I had your first session, you went through a shitty little trap, got hit by a toy hammer, and then exploded? Oh yes, absolutely.
I mean, you know,
It's a good thing nobody got hit, right?
good thing I don't have a backup character. Jesus Christ, that's scary. Nobody has
I mean,
Revivify yet, right?
Shima got hit straight in the torso, nothing happened.
Uh-huh. Alright, we still need to escape. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Reuse the ritual, or
Yeah,
make this circle again, and try to use that to kill Gerald.
well, I still got a part to read, the power source.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So you start reading the portion of the power source. The power source seems to be relating to different things that can actually power different spells or rites or summonings. And that a lot of the time, the power source is something on the side, and there's another component to the power source, which is something that is lost. And you notice a symbol. You don't know what that symbol means.
Symbol.
Yep.
Did Alan talk about the word symbol he saw or no?
Oh yeah, I did.
We mentioned that there was a symbol next to memory.
Was it this? Is it the same one?
It appears to be the same one. Is one portion of the power source. All of the power sources, as far as you can tell from the entry, it mentions that the power sources are like the components inside, and there is all of it contributes power, but that there is one portion of the power source that must be lost. And in this case, for the right of the Silent Father, it seems to be memory.
It says you have to lose it.
You're not sure whether or not it's you have to lose it, or the act of completing the rite successfully causes it to be lost.
Man, that's a hefty cost. Would have been nice if we had like a pre-made circle that wasn't ruined that we could just use.
I mean, there's a circle that's there, it's just not complete. It's the second one.
Yeah, the first one already had all of that. It's unfortunate. Hmm.
Just saying, you could have stopped me from doing it too.
Yeah, I could have.
Something to note, the mute effect was not an ambience. Yes, you guys, if you remember, there was a portion that I mentioned that the mute effect that happened is related to an ambience, but is not an ambience. And as far as you guys can gather, the mute effect would have been a spell.
Oh. Alright, I'm gonna go back inside and I'm gonna check through everything that was poured out of the chest. Do I see anything that looks like chalk?
You do see a piece of chalk.
Okay. I'm gonna take it.
You're gonna what?
I'm gonna take it.
Okay. Do you glimpse of true sight it?
Yes.
It seems to be ordinary chalk.
Well. Can I wait, can I scan the room with true sight? With glimpse of true sight?
You can take the time to glimpse of true sight everything, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna see if what pings as the Silent Father.
The two crystals and the portrait.
That's it.
Yep.
Okay, is the crystal breakable?
Oh, sorry. I should probably also mention that the entire room seems to have a feeling.
Okay.
You're not quite sure. You don't understand what the feeling is, though. The crystals are crystals. You don't know if they're breakable, but you can try.
I would like to try to break off a piece of the white crystal.
Okay. Are you using anything in particular?
Let me see if I can have anything that can help with that. I'll use my claws.
Okay. Go ahead and give me strength. Might. Sorry. Might. I'm going to be saying strength, dex, and int the
Yeah, it's
entire way
fine.
through.
That's
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. What difficulty?
Undetermined.
Undetermined. Okay, so I just add nothing essentially.
Yep. Because you're not quite sure what the material is, so. Yep, you managed to break off a piece pretty easily. It seems to be made of almost like a chalk.
Fantastic. And I'm gonna just try it on the floor to see if it writes similarly to what the circle is made out of.
No, the circle appears to be made out of paint, but the chalk does leave a mark.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to the guys. Oh, I'm gonna. Can I do the same thing with the black one?
Yep.
Sorry. Okay.
You break off a piece of the black one
Okay.
with relative ease.
Guys, I think I
you
found
can
the
add-
chalk.
You can add black and white mysterious chalk. Or you know what? Fuck it. Add black and white silent chalk
Thank
to your
you.
inventory.
I would have kept
Um,
reading the book.
You can also add an entry right next to the chalk. You can add to it that it's an ingredient. You keep reading the book.
Yep.
Okay. You come across something extra, actually. Give me a moment just to find what. You come across an entry in the diary that speaks about the glimpse of true sight. And that using it with your eyes closed and paying attention to all of your senses can let you detect ambiences.
I'll do it right now.
You do it where you're at, and there's nothing.
I don't even catch the one from the letter in my vial.
Nope. The ambiences are a, as far as you can tell from the entry, is an aspect that fills a room. It fills the space in a room. Yeah. To detect the aspect from an item or a particular thing, you would use the glimpse of true sight and glance at it. To detect a ambience in a room, you'd use the glimpse of true sight with your eyes closed.
Right, and this.
I'll go
Yeah.
in the room and try and do it.
There is a feeling of quietness, a feeling of performance.
Feeling of performance.
Yes. You're not quite sure. It's almost as if everything seems to be part of a very strange, intricate dance. When you open your eyes, there's just the slightest impression that almost as if stuff is acting but isn't. It's just on the cusp of your senses.
Oh my god.
Isn't there something about a play?
Yes. We have to act like miming letting somebody in. I guess kind of like what we just did with you.
Do you
Letting you
follow
in.
the instructions of the rite?
Let me check if I have everything. I have the memory, yeah. I have the chalk. We have the ambience. And we just have to act. Okay. Let's do this shit.
So, Alan,
Now,
you
this
get
is
your
my first time leading a ritual. Okay, usually I just assist. Bear with me here. I'm gonna use
Oh,
the white chalk, and where the carpet was, I'm gonna try to replicate the circle.
Okay. You managed to replicate the circle just fine.
Fantastic. Okay, I'm gonna focus on a memory that I have.
Okay.
What
What memory are you focusing on?
Focusing on a time where one of Alan's fellow whatchamacallit, fellow cultists or whatever, gave him praise, like, oh, you did a good job. And he was very happy about that.
Okay.
Made his day. Like he placed the candle properly
Oh. Yep.
for the first time. And so he's gonna focus on that. While closing his eyes, he's gonna mime like letting somebody in.
You know that just before doing that the rite involves you placing the chalk or an ingredient relating to the father, the silent father.
Well, I made the circle with the chalk.
Yep. But you also notice that in the script from what you've read, that you need to place the ingredients inside of the circle.
Okay, I'm gonna put the black chalk in the circle then.
Okay. You also notice that in the rite, One of the aspects has to represent uh, the um, the aspect of wounds, the aspect of something opening. And you're
Oh,
pretty sure that neither the ingredients, the ambience, or yourself represents the act of letting something in, the act of opening a portal.
I go on the other side, and the wound that I had on my hand, if you remember, because I cut myself,
Yep.
I put it on top of it.
On top of the circle?
Yeah.
Okay. You have an idea, Kiki, that this just might work. Do you continue on with the
yes.
with the right?
I'm gonna nod at him. Oh, like a nod of approval and continue.
Yeah, I approve.
So the play involves you mentioning to everyone to keep completely silent, not a word from their mouths.
I had
And Kiki steps aside, examines the circle, notices that everything's quite perfect, and then he starts the act. One in which you guys notice Alan pretending to dance to music that can't be heard. And suddenly he puts his hand to his ear as if he hears something. And he walks towards the center of the circle. He seems to peer through an invisible hole. Alan, you see something.
I would like to let it in.
So, without further ado,
I'm gonna mime
In a-
opening
in
a
a-
door and letting it in.
in a fantastic show, a little more expressive than you thought you would normally be, you go and you open the door, and you guys notice that there seems to be a space as if an invisible door was opened. And out walks in this dude.
Oh, Jesus.
To get through the door, he hunches down. He appears to be roughly 7 feet tall. He's tall, he's humanoid, he's pale. He appears to be wearing overalls. The entirety of him is covered either in black or white. There's very little color at all except for his eyes, which seems to have a bit of blue. There seems to be indications on his body of what might be holes, or you're not sure. Maybe they're just creases. He peers at you silently, Alan.
I would like to bow to him.
It bows back.
All right. I'm gonna gesture to Manuelo to pass me the writing, the paper with the marker, so I can write something on it.
I don't
Okay.
have it. Eric has it.
Oh, get a gesture right there. Okay, I'm gonna write on it. We have a clown for you to kill, and I'm gonna spell it Cluwnes.
Okay, you have a Clune to kill?
And I'm gonna add please, and I'm gonna show it to him while bowing again.
The silent watcher takes the paper from your hands, turns it over, reaches his long arm out to you. He seems to be wanting the marker.
I'm giving him the marker.
He takes the marker and he starts writing. Hands it back to you. Closes the marker methodically.
I take it back. What does it say?
He looks around and he starts heading towards the chest.
Oh, okay. What does the paper say?
The paper, as you take it, says, "It will be done. Also, you need not communicate with me through paper. I may not speak, but you can.
Oh! I'm gonna show the paper to the other two guys, and I'm gonna give them a thumbs up, and I'm gonna say, I think we can speak.
The being seems to reach and lift up the chest with one hand, and it grabs what appears to be the label maker. See it fiddle around with it for a bit. It walks right back to Alan. And he goes to label your forehead. Do you let him?
Yes.
He labels your forehead. He drops it, and then he starts to look around himself.
Because the latch is still open, right?
Sorry?
I'm asking Eric, is the latch still open? Okay, so as he's looking around, I'm just gonna like walk out the room.
I'm gonna. Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Like, what does it say?
It says,
What's on my forehead?
okay. Eric, you see what's written on Alan's forehead. It's stinky.
I'm stinky! Oh. Why? What does it say? I'm gonna take it off and read it.
You read it, it says stinky.
I'm stinky! I'm gonna put it back on my forehead.
Let me just double check. Gotta do that. And if I do this, yes. Perfect.
We have an. Yes.
So you see him walk around, look around, and then he goes over out. He opens one of the chests, and you see him mime throwing a fishing rod.
Okay. Oh, that's gonna be wonderful if he does that.
He he seems to have caught something, and frantically he's pulling it out. He's pulling it out, and out comes. Well, you guys don't see anything. He goes. He pulls out, and whatever he's holding seems to be flopping around like a fish. And he bangs it on the chest a couple of times. And you hear a fuck, and it seems to not be moving around. It's got the fish, or you don't see a fish. And he swings it around once or twice. And then he holsters it like a sword. And he starts to walk out.
I start following him.
Yeah, I'm also gonna. This is wonderful, by the way.
You see him peer around. You see him put his hand to his ear like he's listening. And it's at this moment that you start hearing the and the mime goes and pretends to bring out what appears, you're not quite sure, he seems to be honking something. You don't. He's just doing the motion. You don't hear anything. But you do hear the steps of Gerald accelerate. And then Gerald comes up to the top of the stairs. And on sight with the mime, both of them start running at each other. And they start to fight. Gerald appears to be swinging his hammer at him. The hammer seemingly having less of an effect on the mime. The mime fighting back with an invisible fish. It's a slapping motion.
Oh.
So each time the hammer connects with the mime, you notice that the skin underneath seems to inflate really quickly and then deflate, almost as if it was going to explode, but then doesn't. Meanwhile, Gerald's getting clobbered with a fish. Cobbled, you might say. A fish that doesn't seem to exist. The two seem to be locked in quite the fight. Not one winning more than the other. At least not yet.
I'd like to jump in.
Sure. Do you guys want to try and help fight?
I want to help the mime.
Okay. Oh, I don't want to move.
I'll actually gonna start like sneaking around.
Cool. Alan, you try to get close, and as you do, the mime makes a symbol like tapping on a wall right next to him, and you end up falling straight into a barrier, as if there was a wall where the mime had just tapped.
All right, Mr. Mime. It's fair. I understand, and I back away, and I follow the other guys.
Gerald, seeing you guys starting to run, tries to turn, and the mime takes that opportunity to further the attack. The clown can't seem to get away. I should say the Clune.
Clune. I see he's busy. Can I just peek open this door? See if the fire
Yep.
is going.
You peek in, there's no fire. It's dark inside.
Huh.
You turn on the light.
Yes. There's no fire?
There's no fire. You do notice there is what appears to be... It was a makeshift torch you tossed? Tima?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see what appears to be an extinguished makeshift torch on the middle of the carpet. The carpet's slightly burnt, but it didn't quite catch.
Hmm.
There were colorful spiders all around.
I'm gonna close the door.
Wise move. As you guys
Yeah.
start to head down is roughly when you notice that the mime had won. With a particular slap of the fish, Harold's head spun around a couple of times, followed by the sick squelching sound of bones breaking. And he falls to the ground limp. And the mime curb stomps him.
Jesus Christ.
The mime looks in your direction, gives you a farewell bow, and starts to head back towards the other room.
I'm gonna wave back at him.
The mime turns around, makes a gesture of a circle, and then leaves. No, just makes a circle in the air, pretends to break it, and then leaves.
I think he's... See, this is what I said. I think there's a circle of the Hunk Mother. Maybe we need to break it to get out of here. I don't know. Is this a window here?
Yes.
If I try to punch it, does it do... Is it like rubber? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, can I glimpse of true sight on the window?
Yep.
If it's got a Honk Mother vibe?
It does.
Okay.
In fact,
See,
just about all the walls and everywhere that would lead to the outside seems to be covered in the Honk Mother.
this whole thing is like imbued with the Honk Mother. So there's probably a circle we have to break, and then we can probably open the window or something. But before we go down, and before anyone calls dibs, I want to take the hammer.
Okay, you pick up the toy hammer. Would you like to test it on the wall?
I would love to test it on the wall.
You bonk it on the wall. It makes that. You hear laughter in the distance.
The wall's not damaged at all.
The wall's not damaged at all. It's a toy hammer. You feel like someone has played a joke on you.
The hunk mother.
Oh man! I'm gonna throw it back on the floor.
Quick question. Did we found the key back in the ball pit?
You found 2 keys in the ball pit.
Mhm.
One that you guys used on a chest, and a big plastic key that you have not used yet.
But guys, how much you want to bet the circle is in the room with the spider? Uh, fair. That's what
Well,
I'm
we're
thinking.
already here. Let's try and see it. I want to know the light in the hallway.
Yep.
Is it turned on by a light switch or something?
In the hallway?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I switch it off?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna switch it off so that it's black.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask someone to be close to that light and someone to be close to the door.
I'll stay close to the light. Switch.
So when I say now, you're gonna turn the light switch back on. And whenever the light switch gets back on, I want the person next to the door to look where the rug is. I want to lift the rug and see if there's anything underneath it. So I'm going to open the door, trying to sneak in, lift the rug, and when I lift it up, I'm gonna scream now and run back and close the door. Yes. The reason why I want to do that is because I'm good at sneaking. So if I'm sneaking and I'm opening the door slowly, there can't be any light coming in from the outside of the room. Shut up. Is Gerald's body still here?
Yes.
Is he easy to drag?
No, he's not easy to drag, but you can drag him.
Alan can help also, yes.
Are you going to drag him into the room?
No, I'm wondering if the spiders are going to be attracted by his smell or body or flesh.
Is it very bloody, or is it mostly
I don't
just
wanna-
confetti?
Oh, puta madre.
There's a mixture of blood and confetti.
Okay.
I don't want to ask the Silent Watcher again to help us with spiders. Or can't we?
Sorry.
Why are you saying sorry?
I burped.
We didn't hear it.
Oh, okay.
All right. Actually, you know what? Just stay here. I'm gonna open the door. Turn on. The light is still on, right?
Yes.
Inside.
Yeah, I didn't turn it off.
So I'm gonna open the door, go in, flip the rug, and come back.
Okay. So you get in. Give me a perception check.
Perception. What is it again?
Intellect space. Yep.
$19.
Nice.
Nothing has changed. When you go and you lift the rug, there's nothing underneath the rug. You notice that the spiders, some of them seem to be slowly crawling towards the door. But they're taking their time. They're not very fast. You know that you're going to be able to get out of there without being hassled.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and close the door. Yeah, there's nothing underneath the rug, and they're pretty slow, but still. And you said these things here were eggs, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think it's here.
Maybe it's underneath the big spider.
You would have noticed if it was underneath because the big spider's not levitated. It's above. It's off the ground. There is nothing
Oh.
underneath it.
Okay. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna light the Molotov cocktail.
Okay.
Oh yes. I'm gonna open the door. I'm gonna chuck it in.
Okay. You light the Molotov. You chuck it in.
Yes. And I'm
You
closing
notice
the door.
the alcohol start to spread and the fire starts to go. You close the door.
Fantastic. Hopefully this does enough damage, so I don't know. Fuck those things. It's fine. Where? Oh, yeah, good thinking.
So you're gonna search into the ball pit. Okay. It takes you quite a while. You're unmolested because, well, Gerald's gone. Is anyone outside of the ball pit aside from Alex?
I would like to close my eyes and glimpse of and feel an ambience.
Sure. There's a faint ambience all around you. It's a funny feeling.
God damn it.
I was waiting for that.
Bet you were.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. So you are searching the floor and you're not noticing any sign of any sort of circle. For those of you who are outside in the hallways, that's this moment that you notice that there's tiny spiders that are pouring from the room. Can I ping, please? From this room, there's tiny spiders there just going all over the place, crawling across the floor, trying to escape.
Not the medium-sized one, just
Not the
regular
medium
size.
size, just the regular size. Yeah.
I'm gonna start going there and stepping on them.
Okay. You start stepping on some of them. Give me a reflex.
Reflex?
Yep. So that's going to be speed, or if you have anything that's related, reflex would be also speed defense. Bless you.
Bless you.
You manage to, as you're squishing some of them, you manage to dodge some of them that seem to be trying to crawl up your leg. And you continue squishing them, but there's more than you can squish.
Yeah, I'm continuing.
Okay. Alex, you finish your search. You have not found a single circle underneath the ball pit. Nope. Nope. Most of the... It would be a clever way to hide something.
I'd also
you're-
like to check the same room, but for any keyhole that would fit the plastic key.
Okay. You don't find a plastic keyhole. You notice that there's a lot of spiders that are going all over the place. But aside from that, they seem to be trying to just mostly get away from the room.
I'm not afraid of some poison.
I'd like to check the bedroom for any place I can fit the key.
Okay. You go and you check the... Let me just make sure not to fucking reveal something I'm not supposed to. You check the bedroom and you don't find any keyhole. I'm sick.
Ooh.
Yeah. You tear across the entire room. There's no circle. Nope. Not behind there either.
I'd like to check the ceiling,
There's nothing on the ceiling,
even in the hallway.
even in the hallway.
What if?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Nope. Nope. You don't know where it's spreading from an origin. You have no idea. You can try. Cool. So you go and you give a look at the honk of true sight. The honk of true sight. The glimpse of true sight. And you peer at the panels, and the panels seem to be spreading. But you notice that they seem to be spreading also from the walls. And that the walls themselves seem to be imbued, or at least the outer walls seem to be completely imbued. Almost as if the foundation might also be imbued. You're not sure, but you're not sure why it decided to spread here. You don't quite see a correlation.
Oh,
Maybe there's a basement.
basement.
Cool. So you guys are back down.
First
For
thing
shits
I
and
do-
giggles. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna go straight to the entrance and lift the rug.
There's nothing underneath the rug, and there's also nothing on the ceiling.
I'd like to see if the plastic key fits in the front door.
It does not.
All right.
Always worth the try, I guess.
Alright. Whereabouts would be this basement if there is any? Is there a light switch I can turn on?
Oh, right. Sorry. So there doesn't quite seem to be much here. You get the impression that there's For the geometry of the house seems a bit strange.
Like what we would have seen from the outside. When we first came in, would there be like a room? Can I inspect the tiger head to see if there's a switch of some kind?
You inspect the tiger head, you don't find a switch. There is a solid wall behind it.
Okay, what else did we check? Can I just go in all the rooms so we can see them?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Very good answer. I'm just going to go with this. First of all, each of you give me a perception check when you get into this room. And then give me one for when you get into this room.
For the big room.
Yeah, for the big room. Cool.
Is it that room?
And then, yeah. Yep.
I see books.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, those are bad rolls.
Those are terrible rolls.
Oh no.
You guys, inside of this room, you notice something that's actually pretty blatant. Do you guys remember when you first showed up at the mansion? Meredith had showed you guys a wall filled with masks.
Yes.
It was this wall over here, filled with the masks. And one of them that was quite noticeable was the giant clown mask in the center. It's gone. Nope. It would have been way too big for his head. You also have a feeling that you searched this room, but you didn't quite search it enough. Because you guys started looking and you all got distracted by the thousands of books that Meredith seems to have. A mixture of DVDs, and some of them were
As I'm,
Yep.
as I'm here,
old
I'll,
DVDs. She was an old actress, if you remember.
I'll close my eyes. Glimpse of sight.
Glimpse of true sight in there, and you're detecting aspect. You still get the faint aspect of the Honk Mother a little bit everywhere, permeating. It does seem to be a bit stronger in this room in comparison to the others. I'm sorry, Alex, you said what? Yes, but I didn't. I'm not going to intrude.
You don't get like a stray eyelash in your eye while looking.
I'll go there and I'm gonna start pulling off all the books and DVDs.
Specifically on that square, you start pulling off. You do find in the back of one of the bookshelves, you find a keyhole. One that looks about the right size for the plastic key.
It's fish guy.
Alan!
Stinky.
I'm
Stinky.
Yeah, Stinky! I'm Stinky. What's up?
They think I found your hole.
Oh.
Fill it in.
Cool. Give me 2
I'm
seconds.
gonna- Use the key.
Cool.
I'm gonna spit on it and I'm gonna slide it in.
Jesus Christ. So you managed to slide it in, and you guys end up finding an extra room. One that was hidden behind the bookcase. Bookcase was a secret entrance. And you find what appears to be a secret study.
Fuck yeah!
The entrance to the secret study is this area here, so feel free to. Yes, it was just really funny that he actually picked exactly where the door was.
Oh, staircase! Staircase!
I mean, I don't have much of a whatchamacallit, a library yet. I didn't buy anything. Yes,
I
absolutely.
looked on the desk. What's on there?
This particular room seems to be a treasure trove of occult information. There's books on relating to more than one god, actually. Most of them are related to the Honk Mother. There is one that is related to the aspect of wounds. None of them are related to the Silent Father. And on the desk, you find what appears to be the most recent writings of Meredith, where she starts to detail more about the experiments with the spiders, and that all that was left was for a victim. She's not sure if a dead body will work. She wants to experiment on a live one. But in a pinch, a dead one might be. But where to find a dead body? One that you could get easily, especially for an old actress like her. Maybe she should send Gerald out. He might be able to do something. And it's relating to the transformative properties of the venom. That she noticed that in some of the bites, that if she didn't treat them well, they caused mutation. She was lucky, though, since she is indeed very well versed in everything related to the Honk Mother. She was able to create an antidote that she's all out for the moment. The rest of the books, you do manage to find one that's related to. One is starting your own cult, aptly named. And aside from that, the other ones are, like I had mentioned, some of them are about other gods, but most of them are about the Honk Mother. Different writings on early instances of where the Honk Mother came from, who were early cultists in history. You managed to pick up one.
Yeah, me too.
You pick it up, and you recognize it. It looks like a Christian Bible, but it's different. It's somewhat similar, but some of the ways that it's written is it doesn't refer to Jesus as the Son of God. It refers to him as the patron of wounds, of openings, of new beginnings. And it paints a very different light. This is at least from the small excerpts that you've managed to read. You get the impression that it would be worth investigating further, but you would need some more time and research to make the comparisons and see and try to extract this information. You can go ahead and add Bible of Wounds to as an artifact to someone's inventory. One of the main things that you notice Bible of Wounds, yeah. Give me a minute. Do I have it? I don't. Cool. Cool. So you have a Bible of Wounds.
Is there a stairwell going up?
That is indeed a stairwell. It's going down.
Going down.
Yes.
Just we found the basement. What map is this of?
It
On est
appears
au
to be a
Québec,
map
tabarnak.
of the world.
C'est une carte de quoi? Ok, une carte du monde.
It appears to be a map of the world.
Any
Is there
specific
anything more?
pins or markings on it?
Yes. There are. There's a couple of them. One appears to be in Quebec.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Another one seems to be somewhere in Europe. Right now? No, it was never quite elaborated. I haven't quite decided yet.
Oh, okay.
Where this place is situated? It can be, I mean, it can be wherever we want.
Australia.
I have a feeling it's in New Orleans. No. Like actual New Orleans, like in the United States. That's the vibe I was getting.
You are somewhere in America, considering that Meredith Moon has had appearances on American TV. Cool. So yes, you notice that there are a couple of pins. They do seem to be related to locations.
Any notes? Any?
There is a note nearby. It seems to be like a rolled up scroll.
I would like to unroll it, please.
At a dinner and movie
One of
theater.
them mentions, Quebec, a potential source of an artifact of wounds. And you'll notice that in this case, artifact does not refer to when I say put it in your artifact list. It's literally written like an artifact of wounds might be over here.
Okay. And the other location you said was
The other location
Europe?
was somewhere in Europe. You think it might be Spain, Barcelona. Barcelona's in Spain, right?
Yes.
yes.
Okay, cool. Excellent. My geography is
North.
garbage.
north
You
of
guys are
Spain.
going to love it.
And I assume it's the
Excellent.
same thing. I assume it has a potential artifact.
Nope, it says rival cult with a question mark.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
It's gonna be New France versus Spain.
La Nouvelle-France, tabarnak. Okay, so I'm gonna start going down.
Yep. So give me a second.
Yes, exactly.
Cool. So this is where the downstairs is. You come on down, and it appears to be an assortment. So it's a dusty old basement. There's a center that appears to be a yellow brick road. And you notice that there's a couple of statues. The statues seem to be of clowns. This one involving multiple smaller clown gremlins, and one being just one large fat clown. And you notice there's a door.
Hmm.
I want to get close to this statue here. What does it look like?
It looks like an assortment of cherubs, but they're clowns.
And this one?
It's a large, fat clown. It is naked. It has a tiny peen.
I fondle it. I'm kidding. I'm not Maximus anymore.
What is the?
without
I'm
touching
sorry.
the yellow bricks, I'm gonna look through here. Is it a door or
It is a door, yes.
okay? I look at Alan and I'm making a sign of like, be my guess.
Okay, what does the door look like? Is there like a handle, a
It does have a
keyhole?
handle. It looks like a dungeon door, I suppose. It's really thick. It's like a thick oak.
I'm gonna
But
knock on.
You're gonna knock?
I'm gonna knock.
There's no answer.
I'm gonna shrug my shoulders and I'm gonna try to open it.
You open it. It takes a little bit of effort, but you do manage to open it. And you were greeted with quite a sight. It appears to be a room. In one corner, you seem to have a very large, almost what seems to be an oven. At the base of the oven is a bunch of confetti, some clay on the other end, and what appears to be a broken mask. There's some tools on the floor, some of varying sizes that seem to be either to place things inside or outside of the oven and to make adjustments to whatever is made here. You're not quite sure. There's a desk
broken
along the
mask.
side, and there's a scarecrow in the corner. And at the far end, you see a circle in bright green paint, along with crystalline formation that's nearby, and down the center where the yellow brick road seems to be. And the yellow brick road does not seem to be part of the house. And it doesn't seem to fit in. It seems, at a closer inspection, it looks like some strange sort of cartoonish corruption. It's as if the bricks that were there just decided to change color. And they're pouring out of what seems to be an open portal.
I'd like to use my glimpse of true sight on the yellow brick road in the portal.
Okay. You use the glimpse of true sight on the yellow brick road, and it seems to have the aspect of the Honk Mother. You glance at the portal and you start to use the glimpse of true sight, and you are racked with a huge pain to your head. You close the true sight immediately, and you've got just these terrible visions. They are definitely of the Honk Mother.
But like too potent to handle?
Indeed. Take 4 intellect damage.
Oh, Jesus. When are we taking a long rest?
I think this is the first damage you've taken.
No, it's
No, it
not,
isn't.
because I took some might damage to some no, I took some
Oh.
intellect damage to summon the water in the first place when I tried to slide on the water. I'm almost going crazy there.
That's funny.
I got
That's
a
funny.
sick nosebleed. I'm gonna relay the information to everybody else and let them in. Oh, by the way, is the broken mask this thing here?
Nope. Broken mask is the small little thing over here.
And does it look like the mask that was in the living room?
It looks like a clown mask. It looks like one clown mask. It does not look like a mask that was put on Gerald.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was asking.
No,
Yeah.
it's way too small.
Okay.
Way too small.
I mean, I have a lot of things I want to try, but I'm gonna let everybody in, you know. Everybody can have a turn with this fun room.
So as you walk in, you see basically everything that I had mentioned. Of a bright green paint. Yep. Similar, but they're an entirely different color. They're very colorful. Despite them not being very colorful at the moment, they're colorful. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Do you peer into the portal? Okay. It seems to be a scarecrow of sorts. There's the broken clay. There's a bunch of broken clay on the floor. And there's a desk. It seems to be a collection of clay, like material that you would use. Maybe it's being used for the forge, you're not quite sure. No. It seems to be a pile of clay as a material. As if, someone was using clay to make things.
Oh, I'd like to pick up the thongs and go harvest some of the crystals over there.
Okay. Go ahead and add crystals of the hunk mother.
I'll grab a cup. What kind of tools are there?
There's a hammer, there's some nails, there's tongs, but the tongs have been grabbed by Alan.
I'll take the hammer.
Okay.
Head
That
towards the
thong,
circle.
thong.
Head towards the circle, and I look at the other ones like, do we break it?
Wait, before you break it, let's look at everything and the portal there is related to the Honk Mother. And if it's our only way out, or wait, no, breaking the circle could be our way out.
Yes,
It might close the
actually.
portal, is what I'm saying. You might want to check the portal first.
So, Eric, you find details that seem to relate to opening portals and other details relating to summoning Honk Mother clowns. Yep. Do you search the desk some more? As you go and you search, you think you've gotten just about everything when you notice there was just one single scroll that you missed. Way at the back of the desk. You pull it out and you notice that it is relating to circles of the Honk Mother. Cool. So, what do you guys do?
Does it say anything about summoning clowns? Because I kind of have a feeling by this thing here. Maybe Meredith Moon summoned a clown there? Probably Gerald? I mean, maybe it's just part of the ritual you have to build at first. Does it say anything about that?
You start to read it. It seems that one of the very important ingredients would be a mask that is imbued with chalk of the Honk Mother. Sorry, play of the Honk Mother. The details as you go through, it seems to be an intricate something that requires creating a clown mask and placing it upon a doll the size of a human, and then going through what appears to be some sort of performance. You think that would be a perfect replacement? Is not you stretching it.
Okay,
From
okay.
what you're reading, you would have the materials that would probably be necessary. The details involve creating a clown mask and using it to place it upon a doll and then performing a rite. You have the idea that any sort of summoning, as long as it would be related to anything that's not too big, too powerful, would be bound to you as part of the summoning rite.
It's exactly what I was thinking. Like, out of character, we can collect them like Pokemon. Like, what if the mime is still up there and he can come with us? And then we create a clown, and then we create one from every religion, and we have our own like Pokemon team of Eldritch horrors. I'm sorry, I'm excited.
I'm quite happy about this. The whole purpose of this whole campaign is for you guys to start a cult and to achieve ascension. How you do so and what tools you go to use, be it, I don't know, minions of the Honk Mother or the Silent Father or whatever other god you choose to follow, or a mixture of them.
In any of the manuscript that I've read and that we all read, is there anything that mentions how could I say, like an inherently venomous relationship between minions? Like, does it mention anywhere that Cluwnes
Minds don't get along.
and Silent Ones would not get along naturally?
You don't know. You get a
Don't
feeling
know.
that maybe, but you don't know. And in the mentions, the only thing, give me an intelligence check. See if you remember a key detail
Okay.
that would relate to this. You recall Meredith's last words before she died. Whatever you do, don't mention this. And then she died.
Don't mention what? This?
Don't mention the, and she started to pronounce S. And then she died.
Don't mention the. Okay. Interesting. Don't mention the Silent Father, probably.
You say that out loud.
No, 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 no. No, no.
I'll say it out loud.
You say the Silent Father out loud.
Out of nowhere like that?
You hear laughter. It's in the distance. A crazed laughter. One that sounds both in pain, angry, and exceedingly joyous.
Okay, I'd like to run back all the way to the Silent Father room, the black and white room.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell the two guys I'll be right back. You can follow. You can follow me if you want, but I need to check something. I need to check on the mine. I want to see if he's still there. I have a question for him.
Oh. I'll wait here.
I'll be fine. It's just a nosebleed. I'll be fine. BRB.
Okay. So you get to the top.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah. What the fuck is that?
Right where the clown's body was, you notice what appears to be a mutated, like his corpse had mutated into what appears to be a mixture of a clown and a spider.
I'm getting back down.
It has a lot of legs, and each of the legs seem to end in what appears to be clown shoes.
No.
As you start to walk,
Hey, I'm very
starts
sneaky, by the way.
skittering, and you just hear the rapid little squeaking of the little things.
I'd like to sneakily go back down the stairs.
Okay, give me a stealth check if you have some. It has not noticed you yet. Stealth level train. You don't think it noticed you.
I'm leaving. I'm going back downstairs.
Perception check.
Oh, for me?
Yep. One of the floorboards next to you moved as if something was moving underneath it. Continue going. Undulated. Close to him, yes. You can continue moving, though. That's it.
Yeah, I'm not staying around to find out. I'm just I'm just going. What?
Alex knows. He's got a good memory.
Oh, fuck. Okay, I'm gonna close the door here.
Okay. You managed to close the door.
I'm gonna turn. I'm gonna say, we have a spider problem? No. There's this big fucking clown spider on the second floor where Gerald's body was.
In fact, you're pretty sure it might have been Gerald's body.
Yeah, pretty sure it grew out of Gerald's body. I'm pretty sure he didn't see me, but yeah. If it's related to the Honk Mother, I think we may want to break the circle as fast as possible. Oh, fuck.
I fucking love it.
Son of a bitch.
I'm gonna with the hammer. I'm gonna start scraping the circle.
Okay. You managed to break the circle. And the whatchamacallit? The portal goes dark. That's the
fine.
most of what you notice. There still appears to be clay of the Honk Mother coming out, but it's not growing or anything. It's just there.
Oh, by the way, how many crystals did I manage to gather, more or less?
I guess a handful.
Okay.
Did you want to gather a particular amount?
Yeah, like
You
a
would- you would've
dozen or
been-
something.
You would have been able to get 5 max.
Okay, 5. Perfect.
5 chunks max.
Thank you. Oh,
You can
and
do the same for the rest of your chalk retroactively if you want.
oh, okay,
Chalk
fantastic.
of the Silent Father, you can.
And like
Yeah,
4
right,
of
right.
each because I used one for the circle and the other one for the ritual.
Yes.
Thank you. Might be useful in the future. If you want to summon more Pokemon. All right. So here's the thing. Maybe we want to get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Do you want to bring the Scarecrow? Is it like a heavy Scarecrow? Something that would be...
It's a large scarecrow. It would not be pretty. It's also wide. It's not something that's going to be easy to get through a door. Like you could, yes, absolutely, but it's like I don't want to say moving with furniture. It's just cumbersome.
Okay, I'd like to get a glimpse of true sight on the Scarecrow. Is it anything special, or is it just a plain Scarecrow?
It's a plain scarecrow. However, you notice that in doing the glimpse of true sight, the wall behind it seems to be inert.
Seems to be what, sorry?
Inert. Yes.
Only this square?
Nope. It's the wall in general.
As opposed to upstairs where it radiates Honk Mother.
Well, I mean, you guys never actually looked at the wall before down here on whether or not it was related to the Honk Mother or not. All of the walls, they're all inert.
Except for the brick road. It's like the only thing that radiates. Honk Mother
No,
energy.
actually, the brick road has stopped radiating the Honk Mother.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, breaking the circle.
Okay, so good news. Good news, everyone.
There's remnants of it, but like it's not radiating it the way it did before.
Seems like the Honk Mother is
That's good.
fading, but I'm not sure if it got rid of the spider upstairs. So we might want to get the fuck out of here before the spider finds us.
Don't you have the Watcher?
The what now?
The Silent Watcher?
I didn't manage to get back to the room because that's... Yeah. I didn't want to fuck around and find out, as they say. So, is there any wood nearby?
Down here,
Yeah.
the closest wood is what appears to be the desk.
Okay, I'm just gonna walk up to the desk and I'm gonna knock on it. I'm gonna say, hopefully we don't run into that spider on our way out. See, I knocked on wood, so we're safe. It's cool.
Indeed.
I'll open the door to start going out.
Cool. Before you guys start going up, give me just a moment. I
Yes, no, I knocked on wood,
I
man.
have to move things around.
Brother, I knocked on wood, my guy. My guy.
I know you did.
Wait.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something.
Where is it? I had it. Oh, there we go. Work. Yes. Perfect. Just had to make sure that, because I noticed I hadn't prepped that thing yet. Cool. Considering how sometimes you guys can be a bit slow, yes, absolutely. I'm glad that you guys made a lot of progress tonight. Cool. So you open the thing, and well, it's quite empty. Absolutely. I need to start putting things on the GM layer to move stuff around. Absolutely. That is so much better of a way to do it. I mean, the cloaking thing's kind of fun too, because you guys lose on whether or not things are going to change, but yeah, I get it. Yeah. This is true. Yeah, the good thing about cloaking though is it prevents you guys from moving too far because you literally can't see where you're going. Yeah. Cool. So, you guys head up the stairs. Go ahead and place yourselves into the thing. I assume do you guys collect anything from here? There was the book of how to start your cult for dummies.
I'll grab the map.
You gonna grab the map?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
And aside from that, there's a couple of books of the Honk Mother. There was one of wounds that you had already picked up. Cool. Well, then you guys are free to move to the next room. Let me to reveal it for you. Which door do you take?
The one.
That one? Okie doke, give me a moment.
Oh, sorry, I was updating something. Character sheet.
And can I do that? Can. Excellent. So you move into the hallway, and you find the Silent One fighting the spider.
Oh, fantastic. What a good boy. Oh, he's such a good
And
boy.
You see him tearing off the legs of the spider. You notice that there's a wound on its arm. You know, a very clear bite mark. The bite mark had started to mutate a bit, and where the bite mark was, color is starting to go, sort of like, and it seems to be rather infected. You guys
As in
can step
the
out.
silent one bit the spider?
No, the spider bit the Silent One. Here, let me just move this a little bit so you guys have a bit of space, because it's happening in the hallway. It doesn't really matter where.
I'm just heading out.
Hold on. You guys don't get to move further than the door, though. I'll reveal this part for you, though. You know what this. Yeah, so I need you guys to hold still for a bit. I did not mean to reveal the outside there, but whatever. Accidents happen. So the fight seems to be going in the mime's way, and he manages to tear the clown spider completely to shreds. It's at this moment that the floorboards seem to creak, and seemingly out of nowhere, out of a crease in between the floorboards, appears a giant.
But they don't exist.
A clown.
Yeah, they don't exist.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
not
if we
there.
don't believe in them, they can't hurt us.
The floor clown, if I could change his fucking size. How the fuck do you change the size? Yeah. Oh, yeah, there we go. There we go. Yep, I managed to. Do you see him? The proper
Yeah.
size?
I see it. You don't see on top of the mime?
Oh, Jesus.
Out comes a gigantic, muscular golem of flesh and makeup, covered in what seems to be splinters of wood. And he appeared out of seemingly the tiniest crack, and he grabs the Silent Watcher, one hand on the head, the other on the leg, and tears him in half.
No, my boy.
And this is where we're ending the session.
My boy! I didn't even give him a name yet, and he's already dead.
What do you name him, though?
What? There's no
Well-
point, he's dead.
You can make him a memorial.
I didn't have time to think of a good name for him. Patrick? Chalky. Chalky.
All right, excellent.
Yeah.
So, are you guys
Oh.
enjoying the session so far?
I mean, I'm kind of scared for my survival now.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Also, so long as we have like the books and manuscripts on us, we can always reference them by asking the GM, I assume.
Yes.
If we
Yeah,
missed anything in our notes.
I was wondering because one of the things that I was thinking of maybe doing was having it as like handouts for like the things of like aspects, ambience, all of those little things. I
That'd be cool.
might do that, but I don't say it's extra work. I mean, that can be done too.
Spider's dead? Or
The spider's dead.
okay, at least we only have one thing to worry about.
Both the spider and the silent watcher are dead.
Well, should have kept. Yeah, I kind of regret wasting my Molotov cocktail now.
I'm sure you guys will figure out the best way.
Tony Lazzuto! Yeah, because we don't know how strong this thing is. We don't know if we can take it. Yeah, but Geralt was impossible because of the mask. I mean, the is that what it says? Yeah, the Cluwnes that are cursed with a mask can only be killed, can only be stopped by killing them. Oh yeah, okay, no.
Yeah, they're suffering until death. Yes, their only release is death.
Right, so they're not immortal. Okay.
You remember when it was laughing whenever you would hurt it?
Uh-huh.
Yep. It was glad you were trying to kill it.
Oh. Also very important if we want to run away, floor clowns nowhere's safe.
Yeah,
So even if
essentially.
we run away, you might just come out of the ground, or a tree, or a wall, or anything. TPK, TPK, TPK. I mean, we don't know its stats. Maybe it's doable, but
Alright, I'm gonna go.
all right. Good night.
Have yourselves a good night.
Good night, boys.
Oh, wait, yeah, sure. You're actually quite close to a lot of it. There were some moments where it was a bit frustrating earlier, like when you were in the black and white room, because a lot of what you needed to do was to actually just read to get like the information that you were missing in order to like figure out that, oh yes, you could summon. Fun fact: the black and white room is completely optional.
Huh. But summoning a mime ally was so much fun.
Of course. So the whole thing is, I mean, like you noticed that you got both keys that were in the ball pit. There was nothing stopping you from, say, doing the plastic thing first, and then there was nothing that like, aside from finding the actual chest and noticing that yeah, it's locked and you had to unlock it, and it gave you another puzzle to having to do the chest thing to open up that room. Um, all that is optional, but it did present you guys with a way to get rid of Gerald. And also, more importantly, it introduced you guys to the Silent Father as a god, who, honestly, if you didn't find the Silent Father in this session, it would be very difficult for you to find the Silent Father at all.
Ooh, nice. It's like a missable Easter egg.
Yes. Yeah, basically. Because, I mean,
That's
the
good.
Silent Father is not, like, one of the main gods, I'll say.
Mhm.
Like, it's a nice addition that I had added in because I felt that it was very appropriate, especially with the Hunk Mother. And I've got this whole relationship between the gods thing going on as well. And so, yes, they're something to explore, yeah. So, I mean, I might have put in some extra opportunities to maybe find out about the Silent Father or learn about it. But considering that this session is mostly about like the Honk Mother and like everything related to the Honk Mother. So that's part of the reason why there's so much in particular for the information is because a lot of the mechanics that I intend to have, which is the rights, the ambiences, the aspects, and all that, like I have no choice but to dump that onto you early because otherwise you're not going to be able to get past or do a lot of the things that you're going to need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, later on, like the sessions are going to take a different sort of turn in the sense of like when you guys are exploring areas, it's going to be cases like this. Like you get into like a mansion that is like a predetermined dungeon of sorts, right? But outside, Precisely, yes. Exactly. It is going to be a lot of work on my end, but I am definitely up for it because as long as I know what direction you guys are going, I'll prep for that. And so the whole idea is that, like, since you guys are going to be doing, like, the toughest thing that's going to be for me is that the moment that you guys finish this particular session, it's going to be the part where you guys are going to have to either choose to start your cult or not. Because the thing that originally I wanted to do was I wasn't going to have you guys start with your cult characters, but considering that you guys have put in a lot of work and love into these particular characters, it's kind of hard for me to just say, oh yeah, like the next session, take different characters. It's going to be hard to like include, to have different introductories to the different gods in that way. Like I can still do it. Oh, I mean, that's fine. Because the original plan was for you guys to play essentially characters that could probably end up dying, like a bunch of reporters,
Disposable
essentially, like
characters.
disposable reporters, yes, that showed up to either figure out whether or not this place was haunted or not. Was the first actual idea I had.
Ghost facers.
But considering that you guys picked your characters, I'm like, okay, you guys are obviously not already all together as part of a ghost chasing operation. So I worked around that, but it worked out fine. Yeah, my main worry is, okay, like, you guys have to, like, know that you are aware of the occult world, and the idea is you do want to ascend. And so after this session, like, that's your main motivation for sticking together. I don't have anything that I can bring in for this particular mansion that's going to give you guys incentive to stick together that much. Like, I have a couple of ideas, but that's more the difficult part for, like, an open-ended campaign. Is I cannot be the glue for you guys as much.
That's fair.
So that's what I'm trying to do as much as possible, is that, like, I'm going to try and present you guys with as much choice as possible. It's going to be a bit difficult, but once you guys get out of here, you guys are aware that there's other gods. And so what I'm going to try to do is make it clear for you guys how to find places that are related to other gods with lore. Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of what's going to be the case for the sessions is that you guys, the main source of, I want to say, resource for you guys is going to be information about the different gods and how to do their rites, how to use their magic. And so one of the biggest sources of that is going to be, like, books, tomes, videos, shit that you're going to find that's going to contain information. And that's what's going to let you guys learn how to do different rites, how to summon different things, and then potentially later, like, send out these summons on, like, missions and shit, or keep them with you as part of, like, as a bodyguard or some shit.
Yeah, I would love that. I'm excited to learn. Like, I kind of assume, from what I gathered and the hints that you've given me, that the Hunk Mother and the Silent Father do not mesh together at all. So it would be impossible to have both a clown and a silent one as a pet. As a pet or as an ally. But
So here's the fun thing, though, is because, like, I know you say this in both yes and no. I'll say it this way. I designed both of them as a sort of yin-yang.
Hmm.
So like they don't mesh together. Yes.
But if you say the
There's
Silent Father even once, your clown's gonna turn against you.
so but you got to
I
kind
mean,
of
you don't
think
have to tell
about that
me
though.
if it's something I'm not supposed to know.
So that's the thing though, is like why would saying the Silent Father in the presence of the Honk Mother?
Oh.
Yep. That's
Fair. I see. I see. I see. I see.
that's one way to see it, yes. I'll also say another thing. What if it's related to respect?
So like, so long as you don't disrespect the god,
How would you disrespect the Silent Father, or how would you disrespect the Honk Mother?
I would disrespect the Honk Mother by, yeah, like not being able to take a joke, and I would disrespect the Silent Father by, uh, yelling real loud. I don't know.
I mean, sure. Now, if you really respected someone,
Speaking in a movie theater.
absolutely, that's perfect. Now, take for example, let's say you say the name of someone you hate, right? Or someone else's hates, right? You're going to get a
Mhm.
negative reaction.
Right.
Now, let's say you insult someone's brother. You're also going to get a negative reaction.
Right.
So which one is it? Do they hate each other? Do they love each other? That's for you to find out.
Uh, it's too late for me to think about this. My brain is melting a little bit, but I just want to say two things. First of all, I love what you're doing.
Cool.
I'm loving it. It's fantastic. I'm having a hoot and a holler. I love the vibe and everything. I want to ask: have you ever seen the series? Fuck, what is it called? Archive. 39. Is that it?
That rings a bell.
No, it's not
Is that a
39. Archive 81.
Archive 81?
It's
Is it
been
a
canceled,
is it a Doctor Who
unfortunately.
related thing?
No.
Yes.
Archive 81 is a show on Netflix. It got canceled after season 1, unfortunately. So it kind of leaves you on your appetite at the end.
Okay.
But the season 1 is very good, and it kind of, I mean, I won't spoil anything, but the thing with the gods and everything, it makes me think a bit about that.
Cool.
As if it was like maybe one of them, not all of them, but it's got a little eldritch horror in it and a mystery and everything. It's a guy that finds a bunch of damaged tapes, and his job is to fix damaged tapes. You know, old VHS stuff like that.
Yep.
And so he gets hired to fix these tapes, and each tape is like one more piece of the puzzle of as to what happened in this building in the 90s. So it's back and forth with him fixing the tapes and this girl in the 90s who's investigating this building with
Okay.
a potential cult or something. It's very good. Uh, good vibes.
Cool.
But like I said, Only one season, unfortunately. Got
That is
canceled.
unfortunate,
Thanks to Netflix.
of course. Making
Yeah.
terrible decisions.
Here's why Netflix canceled Archive 81. Because Netflix is Netflix. There we go. That's the answer.
Yep.
Very pissed
All
about
right,
that.
I must be off. Have I satisfied all your questioning? Cool. In 2 weeks from now.
See you in 2 weeks.
Okie doke.
Good night. Yeah.
Alright. It'll be faster once I finish school. Yeah.
Also, this is a reminder, both of you, that the realm is open if you want to play Minecraft at any point.
Very cool.
Yeah, I'm just
Yep.
reminding you.
Nighty night.
Good night.